Yo, no disrespect.
All of this happened because I got laid.
Yeah! Make sure to turn down your volume in 3, 2.
Some people think too much of themselves, but with them I forget how. Keep the problems in the closet with the skeleton instead of solving them and they drop it. They making it worse, telling friends and people they don't even know the truth is.
What's good, everybody? Wow, this it's been a long time since I've been on here. It's been such a long time I haven't freaking done this thing. Let me update this real quick. Let me do that one. Hope you're having a legendary grand day. This video is gonna consist of my 2024 freaking YouTube rewind statistic thing recap, and then this one we're gonna look at each of the things and you know, go through all those things. And it's gonna be a great time. So let's go ahead and check this out, and let's see it. Honestly, this makes a lot of sense. 8,000 minutes. The thing is, my minutes aren't going to be as much as it usually would if I wasn't spending time watching videos, if I wasn't spending time uploading live streams or content. Basically, there's a lot of other stuff that I do, so all my music minutes aren't going to be as much as they were if I just listen to music, which that probably won't ever happen, considering that I'm pretty much always making content and always doing other stuff, so I'll still listen to a lot of music regardless. It'll still happen. Moving on here. This has been since 2023. X-Razorwire, or freaking Dark Recursion, or Popo, or Travis, or whatever you guys know him as, he started playing this song again. Originally, my dad started playing it when it first came out on the radio and stuff, and I liked this song. And I knew it was by RHCP, but like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're always good. I've always liked their music. But I pretty much didn't really get into it. Until you know, Razorwire started playing it again, or Razorwire Clone. When he started playing it, is when I was like, dang, I remember this song, and I like this song. So I started listening to it, and basically, as you can see, I've listened to it quite a bit. One of my favorite songs overall. It's too good. It's a freaking one of my favorite songs of all time. Go take a listen, and you know, maybe you'll like it. And then now Tech9 being my top artist. I've listened to Tech9 for 2 hours and 18 different songs. Now, in middle school, I was actually no, I take that back. My cousin showed me Tech9, and that's who I actually originally heard it from. And basically, since then, since like middle school, I've been listening to him, and that's how I started learning that music was one of the things I started listening to, and I started wanting to get into. And then that's when I started doing rapping and stuff, and that's when I was starting out being a music artist. And that was the first genre I started dabbling into and learning about. And just, you know, that's really when it all started. Is my freaking Tech9, Hobson, and freaking just all that stuff. My friend showed me Hobson. It was Illmind 7, which was a very inspiring song that really, you know, opened up how I thought about life and just like overall what's the meaning of everything. And yeah, but anyways, going back onto it, and then I found out Tech9 and Hobson made a song, Rip Your Heart Out. Awesome song, and it was great. But I Need Help was the first song that was the first, or Worldwide Choppers was the first one that I started learning how to chop. And then Rip Your Heart Out and stuff like that. And I just kind of, it was one of my favorite styles of rapping, so it just became integrated in my sound, in my music, and that's just one of my favorite things to do, is just rapping fast. A lot of people don't really understand the different levels and how much it takes to not just create a story and storytell, but to rap it fast. And that's just one version of it. There's so many different ways of doing music. And especially like with rap, there's so many different levels to it. You know, you can talk about oxymorons or freaking, you know, metaphors or similes, or there's different ways of doing it and approaching it, and it's freaking awesome. But with that said, Unsurprisingly, Tech Nine is one of my top artists overall. So, one of the biggest influences in terms of music and stuff like that. Including Kitty and Kriwella, and that's just naming a couple. Stuff like that. There's a lot more. Oh, and as for one of the artists that I've mostly listened to when I was in middle school growing up was G-Eazy, and I was in the top 6% of listeners. I listened to 3 times as much as the average listener. Unsurprisingly, the homie G-Eazy and Tech Nine and freaking Red Hot Chili Peppers setting it off. I like how this is, and that's my initial reaction too. I've always wanted to do a video about this, and I was actually thinking about it. So going into it, this video was gonna happen eventually. It just hadn't, until now. But I've gotten all the videos that I wanted to do, at least mostly. There's some that I don't know where it went, but I already talked about it in my Legendary Grand Entertainment updates 14. So if you're not caught up, go check that video out for further information on that or for more context. But next picture here, my top 5 artists of 2024. We're talking about Tech Nine, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Hollywood Undead, Metro Boomin, and G-Eazy. So it's mostly consisting of hip hop. We got some rock alternative here. So kind of interesting because I would have thought there was more. But in terms of replayability, that's probably why these artists are the top 5. Because I've listened to their songs, most likely some of them more often than once. So I think that's why they're up there. And freaking, it was good stuff. Metro Boomin also dropped that one album, I believe. So that was happening, and the Drake Kendrick Lamar thing happened that year, and that's when it all went down. So going up here, my 2024 listening timeline. I had to zoom in on this one. So January is more all about mellow, thoughtful tracks. February was my top month with Tech Nine. Makes sense. And March, I had Dark Necessities on repeat. That's interesting. I wonder why. I don't know. September was my most adventurous month. I don't know what that means, and it's called Music Recap, so I will make sure that is the title, and I did not see that until now, and now that's going to be in the title. Moving on to the next picture, The Undercover Agent. I love disguises, skipping original recordings in favor of remixes. That is very true. Sometimes remixes I really like over the original because either there's more verses, added vocals, and it's just sometimes it's just really good. But of course, sometimes nothing can beat the original, what some people say. But in my opinion, sometimes the original and the remix is good. Sometimes the remix is better, but it all just depends on what the song is. Covers, not very often I listen to, but I know there's some songs like MGK's Numb I personally like. I know there's a lot of people that don't like that version of Linkin Park's Numb, but I like the song, in my opinion. Red Scorpion, Mike Martinez, I showed him the song because I was like, maybe I'll like it. He didn't, so that's fine. Anyway, another thing is live performances. Not very often will I listen to live performances, but they're not bad, and I like doing so. Now, on the next picture here, this is where I'm kind of confused because I really did not listen to any albums, like multiple songs, but a lot of time in a certain album. I'm very surprised it wasn't Heroes and Villains or We Don't Trust You by Metro Boomin. Those are a couple that I definitely listened to last year. But apparently, according to YouTube, it was Cockradillo Turbo, Vacuum Sealed Valedictorian Texas Technician. I definitely listened to Pounds 448. That was someone that I was introduced to on my it's kind of like underground YouTube channels that upload kind of underground music, and some of them for just underground music, but others for certain genres, and one for hip hop and rap. That's where I found Pounds 448, and he's on my playlist now. Now, as for That Mexican OT, I know for sure I haven't listened to a lot of his music, so I'm kind of confused of where that came from. And Action Bronson, I listened to quite a bit of his music, but I don't know how that, came up like that. But my musical moods of 2024: upbeat at 11%, uplifting at 15%, energizing at 21%, dramatic at 24%, and for some reason sad at 26%. Well, I've never been that for as long as I can remember, so I don't know how that's the most of the music I listen to, but there's just good music, it's just good music. So that's all I can explain there for that one. So, finishing this part off, top artist tracks 2024 recap, music character, and total time. There you go. That's that. And for some reason, my top tracks wasn't on this, but Hate the Other Side, ADHD, 90s rap mashup by, I think it was Austin Williams, I think his name was, and Body Like a Back Road. That's another one I like by the guy that made that song. Country song. You didn't think I listen to country? Well, I do, kind of. And now my top podcast, I mean, come on. For years I've been listening to Philip DeFranco. That's the homie. 3,426 minutes went into listening to his podcast in 2024. That's a long time. That's a lot. I need to hit up the homie. We gotta do a collaboration. We gotta do something of the sort for sure. I'm sure I have, a couple stories or a couple of situations that'll be better if I brought it to light or something of the sort. I don't know. MMA Hour, interesting because mostly that would be WWE wrestlers if I did watch that. So that's interesting. Bo Black's Twitterverses, that kind of makes sense. Now, the fourth one, I don't know about that one. That one's interesting to me. Because I might have watched like one of their podcast, but not throughout the whole thing. And then I don't know about the last one. That's just super confusing. Does Watch Mojo freaking own Joe Rogan? Anyway, 25%, a quarter of my watch time was gaming. I'm kind of surprised about this one because I feel like it would be more, but apparently not. That kind of surprises me. I'm gonna keep it real because usually gaming is one of my biggest things, and only a quarter of my watch time was gaming, so that's interesting. 108. I watched videos about 108 different games this year. That's quite a bit, but honestly a little bit surprising because I normally don't branch out to more games all the time. Sometimes it happens, but I like my games, and sometimes I just don't have the time for games that more and more over time I just put my time into other things. Unsurprisingly, the game I watched the most was Apex Legends. I guess that makes sense. But I mean, like, the more that time goes on, the less... It's not the less interest I have into exploring other games. I mean, it kind of is that, but it's more of like... my time has to be put into other things, and also I want it to be put in other things. And I'll still be doing gaming, just not as much, because my time is starting to need to be into multiple things. My top games of 2024 were Apex Legends, Donkey Kong Country, Poppy Playtime, Donkey Kong Country 2, and Kingdom Hearts. I don't know what that means. I think that means like on my channel or something, which if so, I don't know if that's like for my viewership and of you guys or what it is, but if so, I like that, and I'm okay with that, because for those games I like. Just Kingdom Hearts, I was kind of iffy about the game. I don't know. This is one I wanted to talk about when I saw the picture. I didn't really watch a lot of Iceberg videos. I mean, overall, I've watched several. Don't get me wrong. But not a lot, because I've seen a lot on recommended, and I've seen a lot. I never really watched that much, though, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this one completely. I don't know. This one is very agreeable with. But moving on to the next one. I was there for Absurd Medieval Combat. I don't know. I have no explanation for this. No words. I'm going to let YouTube think that, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, where does this come from? I don't really watch that. Oh, this next picture coming up, though, I'm definitely interested in, and I want to talk about that. Because me and JJ Orange were supposed to meet Oni Plays in Vegas at the Level Up Expo, I think that year. Oni Plays was my top gaming creator. Let's be real. Unsurprisingly. Come on, son. This is like a gaming and music recap. Anyway, one of my top channels that I watch pretty much normally, or at least I try to, besides Smitty. Smitty and Oni Plays are just... It's so good. it's so great. So I highly recommend them if you haven't seen them before. Highly, highly recommend them. Now, you guys are going to laugh at this next one probably, but obviously I was in the top 2% of my Extra Flavor channel. I watched 29 times as much as the average viewer. That should be you guys. But it's okay, because I don't use that channel anymore. It was an experiment, and, well, I went for it, and it really just became, you know, a lot for people to keep up with, is what they said. So I wanted to make it easier for them and just put it all on one channel, because it just makes it so much easier. So my top 5 creators of 2024, Oni Plays, me, for some reason, Markiplier, makes sense, and Flapstick. Now I looked up Flapstick, and I guess he helps Oni Plays make their content, and he does other content too, so shout out to that guy. I didn't know who he was or what he did before searching him, and as far as I know from what I looked up and researched, that's what he does. So shout out to that picture is crazy though. Now this next picture is a recap of the entire thing. Game time, watch time, 25.25% of my entire watch time overall. Which that just goes to show that I don't only watch gaming, and if you ever thought that I did, then there's your answer right there, I guess. That was last year, not this year though, but I'm gonna be interested to see what this year this recap's gonna be. My gamer card is Speedrunner. Every second counts. I masterfully blaze through levels, perfecting each move with precision. Very true. What does that say at the bottom? Platformer? I mean, if it's Metroid Prime, yeah, kinda. I mean, Legend of Zelda isn't really a platformer, though, so I don't know. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for everything. Take care, everybody. That was my gaming and music recap of 2024. Let me know what you guys think. Discuss it below, comment, all that, and I'm going to work on other content now, so this was a fun time. Appreciate your viewership. See you guys next time. Peace out.